What's up, guys? I am late to the party. I know you've probably seen videos already on the RG34XX by Anbernic, but this one is mine, and I want to say thank you to Mech DIY for hooking it up for me. This is the handheld of all handhelds for me. This is the one I had when I was in high school, and this one is designed almost perfectly. It feels almost identical. I wish I could have my Game Boy Advance right here to compare side by side. Unfortunately, it's in storage, packed away deep, and I just don't have the time to get in there and get it. But I do have one of these tiny little ones here. We're going to check this one out in another video, along with this tiny little one right here, and maybe even this tiny little one right here. But that'll be for another video. Today we're going to take a look at the RG34XX. I've already unboxed it, so we're not going to go into the box. I'm just going to tell you they did hook up a screen protector, tempered glass, the white foam on top, all the good stuff, just like I like it. We're not going to get into that though right now. We're just going to pull this out right here and take a look at it and see what it has to offer. Before we take it out of the case, let's just take a look at this case right here. It's another one of those pleather cases. I have one for the RG35XX SP as well. It's in gray. They're actually pretty good cases because they have this kind of indent right here. It seems like they're pretty good for shock resistance. You know, like they have this magnetic clip right here, or snap. It works well. It just looks kind of cool. I kind of like these cases. They're good to just throw in a bag. No zippers. They're not bulky. So anyway, there's that. Let's open this up. I'll have a link in the description for this as well. I got that on AliExpress. And here it is. All right, before I start this thing up, let's just appreciate the form factor, how close it is to a Game Boy Advance. It's amazing. I mean, they did a really good job of recreating the Game Boy Advance for a modern device. The cartridge would have went right there, and now we have the SD cards there with some hotkeys. That's cool. Every button on here, except for the power buttons and the reset button and the function button, they're all silicone membrane based, so it feels just like a Game Boy Advance felt. The D-pad, it's a good D-pad, but it does suffer from a little bit of false inputs. It has a central pivot. It'll work for fighting games. It'll work for most games. Face buttons, fantastic. The silicone membranes feel great. Same with the shoulder buttons. I heard someone complain about them, but I love them. I think they feel exactly like they should feel for a retro controller. They're not clicky and loud. They're very quiet, and that's nice. These buttons are a little hard to reach, but that's all right. Overall, I really like the design. So let's start this thing up and check it out. I'm really going to focus on Game Boy Advance, but I will test a few of the other systems, some of the 4x3 stuff to see how it looks on a 3x2 screen. Same with the 10x9 Game Boy stuff. We'll see the bezel art that they have on there, if it's on there. I can't remember. I mostly played Game Boy Advance on here so far just because that's what I wanted to play on this thing. I included some of the Mario and Wario games because they didn't come included. They're real easy to put on the card. You just drop into the computer and paste the games into the proper folder. It's super easy. But what I think I'll pull up first is WarioWare Inc. It's like one of my favorite games to play on Game Boy Advance. So we're just going to go into there. It's going to be down there at the bottom. And there we are right there. All right. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to see everything is still here. I thought I overwrote everything on here or erased it. But this took a while to earn all that stuff on here. As you can see, I've put some time into this handheld already with this game, and I love it. It's just such a fun game to play. All those things on the side you earn as you play the main games right there. And then you could go into the grid here and you could choose specific games if you want to play them right here individually, the ones you want to play. Otherwise, when you start here, it goes random. And there's just so many fun games to play in here. We'll just start with one, like the first Wario right here. It's going to be super easy. But yeah, it gets harder and harder as you move up. You know, each one gets faster. And yeah, it's just one of those games where you just got to be on your on point. That bar that they just dropped right there gets like very smaller than the hand by the time you're up further in the game. And that spinning thing obviously gets smaller and moves faster. So yeah, right here, dodge this stuff. All kinds of different games. You guys know how WarioWare stuff is. This is one of my favorite WarioWare games. Probably by far my favorite WarioWare game. Right here, it's just too easy. It's not a good example of a fun session in this game because it's too easy. We'll get up to something a little bit harder. And then I'm going to show you one of the little side games that I actually love on here. It's a paper airplane game. It's just one of those games that you have to see how long you can make it. And it's one of the good games to just pick up and play. See, this is a good example of the bad D-pad right there. I wasn't able to get those like Pac-Man wouldn't work well with this D-pad either. It's hard to hit those corners quickly because you kind of like hit double inputs. Other than that, it works well if you know what to expect from it. And it still works for the fighting games and stuff, but are you really playing fighting games on a Game Boy Advance? I kind of wish those false inputs weren't a problem here, but I'm gonna leave that in this video because it is a thing, and that was a good example of how the D-pad has a little bit of a flaw to it. Not enough for me to say it's a deal breaker. All right, so let's get out of here. So this is that paper airplane game I was talking about. If it's boring for you guys, feel free to fast forward. It's supposed to kind of be a boring game, but I really like this game. It's one of the games that you could be playing while sitting in a lobby, waiting for your name to be called, even standing in line somewhere. And it does get hard. I mean, it'll go forever as long as you got the skills. But I think the highest I've gotten is like 80. It gets difficult right there. You got to get them straight. And then right here, oh, barely made that one. Yeah, I like some simple games, my friends. When I game, I don't want to stress. I just want to have fun. Wow, I can't believe I pulled that off. Oh, there we go. That was pretty good for playing right here while filming, not actually being able to pay attention as well. High score was 72. Okay. Let's do like one more. Who do I want to do? Let's do I like 9 volt. 9 volt's cool. He represents the Game Boy Advance, and he gets excited about the Game Boy SP once you beat his little level. They announced the Game Boy SP release, but we're just gonna look at a little Game Boy thing right here, the play area. And this one uses all old school Nintendo games for their mini games. Duck Hunt. Obviously, it seems real easy right now, but once you move up, they get hard. F-Zero. Gotta lock on. That one's super easy. Again, sometimes you'll have 2 flies or 3 flies flying around. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, I got it. Wow, I didn't think I was gonna get that. Rob the robot. I have 3 of these guys in storage. Woo! Messed up there. Too bad. Just gotta fight this guy and knock him into a manhole. I'm not familiar with whatever game that is, or this one, but I know that is a game. I've never played it. This is from Virtual Boy. I have one of those too in storage. I can't wait to share those things with you guys. I need to get that stuff out. It's just a lot of work to get into there. There's a lot of stuff buried. It's been a long time. There's a lot of stuff I don't even remember that I have, so I'm kind of excited. I have a Game Boy Micro in mint condition with 3 faceplates. This is usually a harder game for me, but when they pitch slow, it's not too bad. They start pitching really fast. Got it. All right, so this is WarioWare Micro Mini Games, where there's a couple different names for it. I'm gonna use a DJ. I think we'll get out of here, so I'm just gonna press that. I'm gonna just back out. I'm not gonna save anything I did right there. Before I play anything else, I totally forgot that I received a grip from Boxin House store, along with a few other grips. And this one is the 34XX grip. As you can see, it's curved like that. And the Boxin House store on AliExpress, they make the best grips. So I'm going to play a little bit of Mario Kart on here with this grip on, just because it's going to make it so much more comfortable and easy to play. This grip doesn't slide down into it. It actually pops in like this. But look at that. It's perfect. It's not going anywhere. Super nice. it just makes it so much more comfortable to play. Yeah, it's a pocketable device, and that's great for when you're going out, but when you're at home, why not? This is fantastic. So let's play a quick race in Mario Kart. That's another thing. This is basically the same size as it was when I was a kid, but my hands are definitely not the same size as they were when I was a kid. So, yeah. I mean, I was, what, 15 or 16 when I got this. All right, one quick race. Let's see if we can get first. We should be able to with this grip. And I absolutely love these shoulder buttons. Whoever said they don't like the way they feel or they don't feel tactile, they feel perfect. You know when you're pressing them, they feel like a silicone membrane should feel, like a retro game should feel. They feel fantastic. Let's go. Sorry, bud. He was on my butt. Yeah, this is beautiful. It feels good. And I could actually drive and hold the banana behind my back on Game Boy Advance without struggling. See, I saved myself right there. Because of this grip, really. That's the main reason it's easier to hold the L button down while playing. That's usually kind of hard to do on a portable handheld like this. But it's easy here. Look at this. I'm covered if anyone wants to throw anything at me. And if you guys haven't played this game, it's not the easiest Mario Kart to play, but as you can see here, it's totally playable and plays well. Feels great. It's a lot of fun. There we are. Alright, we tested a lot of Game Boy Advance. Let's test a little bit of SNES. It's scaled at 8x7 here instead of 4x3, which is what it's supposed to be at, unless you're using a CRT. But let's just give it a shot and see how this D-pad works. I missed the first one, but I could tell that was my thumb. I slipped. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Definitely missing some, but this is a small D-pad, so I think that's why. Also, my hands are a little clammy right now, so they're a little bit slippery. But yeah, it works. We'll give it one more shot. She used a jumper. Let me get her with the Shoryuken. Oh man, I messed up. I jumped there and I didn't even try to. Come on, jump. Ah, I didn't get it. Didn't get it there either. I got a fireball there. There it is. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of fireballs when I'm trying to throw my Shoryukens, but it works. It's just not the ideal D-pad for fighting games. I was trying to do a hurricane kick there and I missed it. But alright, that's that for Street Fighter 2. It works. It's not perfect, but it works fine. So I don't expect anything more than that from a D-pad this small. All right, little bezel art. The button's cut off a little bit right there. That's okay. I'd probably prefer black bars over a half-baked bezel art like that, though. The sound sounds good. The filter they're using and everything looks great. It's integer scale, I can tell. The stupidest fireballs. Oh man, I don't know how I did that. Thought I got hit. Alright, we see how Game Boy looks here. I don't think I need to play for too long right now. Looks good. Let's check Game Boy Color. Let's do some fast forward. Press this and that, because this takes a while. Okay. Punk rock. Alright, that's enough. Sega Genesis bezel art looks good. We got the CRT filter. I like the way that looks. Whoops. Alright, so one of my favorite subscribers recommended to me to play some WonderSwan or WonderSwan Color on widescreen systems. This isn't 16:9, it's 3:2, but I guess it works pretty well on this screen. Look at that, it fills the screen pretty much perfectly. And I think I need to do some research with WonderSwan Color and see which games are fun, because I don't have any experience with it. Let's just do one race. Or a little bit of a race. Oh, no, I didn't want manual. Oh well. I'm gonna have to figure out how to shift gears. Alright, that's all. That's cool. I could do that. Alright, WonderSwan. Whoa! Yeah, this isn't easy, but it's pretty cool. Better graphics than I realized it had. Oh. I think I could get used to this. But I won't put you guys through it. Let's test something else. Nope. I don't know what I'm looking at. Yep. Look at that. Alright, come on. Come on. Okay. So what? I didn't know there was any kind of Rockman or Mega Man on WonderSwan. What am I going to do here? Jump in the fire? Oh. Oh. Little D-pad issues there. Input issues. You guys tell me what that says. Alright, this is a fun game. Oh. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Alright, this video is getting pretty long, I know that. Let's try 2 more systems with somewhat wide screens. I think Virtual Boy is one of them, and then obviously PSP. So what's playing here? Let's do some bowling. Alright, how do we do this here? I don't have 2 D-pads like a Virtual Boy does, so okay. I think I got this. Not bad for my first try. Oh, that was bad. I don't know how I got that. That didn't seem like an accurate input to me. The timing was way off. Last but not least, a little PSP. Alright, here we go. I can't remember if you can use a D-pad on God of War or not. If not, I'd have to map the thumbstick to the D-pad. Let's see. Find out right now. Yep, I'm not working. I can't move at all with the D-pad. So I would have to go into here, go into settings, and change all the control mapping. I'd have to go into here and then go for D-pad. I leave the D-pad stuff alone, and I'd have to go into thumbsticks and change analog up to D-pad up, analog down to D-pad down. I'm not going to do all that right now. So I'm going to back out of here, and we're just going to test Pac-Man Championship Edition, something that uses a D-pad. Even though this D-pad on Pac-Man Championship Edition is probably not going to be the best because it's kind of a small D-pad, but let's just give it a shot. Alright, this looks good on the screen. It's using up most of it. Yeah, I got a little missed input right there. I went up instead of right. But it's not bad. Yep, I went up there again. I pressed right and I went up. So that's one of the issues with these small D-pads. You get some false inputs. It's like you gotta lift your thumb up off the pivot before you press to the right or the left if you want to be sure that you don't miss it. It's like if you roll it, you're risking a chance of getting a false input. So it is what it is. I wouldn't get a Game Boy Advance looking emulation console to play PSP, but you can, some of it at least. Anyway, I think that's it. We didn't test PS1 or a bunch of other systems, but I think we've done a lot of tests on the H700 chip in the past, and we can call it for now. So I think that's it for this video, my friends. So before I end it, just one more quick look at the RG34XX Game Boy Advance 2025. This thing is awesome. I really do like it. Thank you, Mech DIY, for hooking it up. Thank you to my viewers for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I couldn't do this without either of you. Mech DIY is having a sale right now for 15% off anything in their store. If you go there right now, just use the code NEW15. If you go any other time, you could use the code NICK15 and get 15% off anything in the store. So check them out. All right, my friends, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.